Hey, so this is finally day 3 for February, chest and back. So I'm gonna walk through this really quickly. We are gonna start with the bench. It's gonna be flat. The wheels are going to be semi in line with the red levers. We are going to start with our chest. So there are 4 exercises. Exercise 1, you're gonna do 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Exercise number 2, you're gonna do 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Exercise 3 and 4, you're gonna do as a circuit, 3 for 30 seconds, switch to 4 for 30 seconds, and then back to 3 for 30, and then back to 4 for 30. So, the first exercise is a wide elbow bench press. So you're gonna lie down, cables are all the way at the bottom, flat back, press your shoulders into the bench, elbows are in line with your shoulders, exhale as you press straight up. 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Second exercise, low cable chest fly. Arms stay straight, soft bend in your elbow, exhale as you pull those palms together. If people need to put their feet on the bench because their feet don't touch the floor, that's okay. So you're gonna do the first one 3 times, you're gonna do the second one 3 times, then we have a little burner. So for the burner, we're gonna do a unilateral. So the first one is the wide elbow bench press, 30 seconds one arm. You're gonna switch, 30 seconds the other arm. You're gonna switch to a 1-arm fly, and then 30 seconds to the other 1-arm fly. And you're gonna do that 2 rounds. So that's the chest. For the back, we are going to pull the bench out, put it in line with one of the cables. The cable is going to go all the way to the top, and you're gonna put the rope on. So this back circuit is set up the same as this chest circuit. Exercise 1, you're gonna do 3 times, 20 on, 10 off. Exercise 2, you're gonna do 3 times, 20 on, 10 off, and then 3 and 4 is a circuit. So the first one is a seated face pull, so you're gonna sit on the bench, ground yourself with your feet, elbows high, pull your hands to your temples or your ears as you squeeze your shoulder blades. Again, 3 times, 20 on, 10 off. Then you are going to switch to a scat push-up. We don't need the bench for this next circuit, so you're gonna do a scat push-up. There's 2 options for this one. The first one is to do it on your palms, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. You are going to contract and retract your scaps. Your elbows stay straight, drop your shoulders down, and press back up. If the client's not into that, they need a better place to start. They can start on their elbows, under their shoulders. Range of motion is smaller, and it does still move those scapulas, all right? So that one is also 3 times in a row, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. The little burner is a row circuit. So we are going to do a low cable row. Per normal, this is normal hand rotation, 30 seconds. Then we're gonna switch. We're gonna do an ISO, 1-arm row, 30 seconds 1 arm, switch, 30 seconds the other arm. You're gonna go back to the 2-arm row, and then you're gonna finish with the ISO 1-arm row. So that is also 2 rounds. So that's chest and back. Then we are going to move on to lower body. We do use the bench for 3 of the exercises. So this is 1 working block, 4 exercises, 30 seconds each exercise, and you rotate through them as a circuit, 2 times through the circuit. So the first exercise is alternating bench step-ups. We're familiar with these. They're a little boring and redundant, but they work the quads out pretty well. If your client wants to add a little cardio, they do not have to. If they want to, they can do a little knee drive when they switch. Add a little jump if they wish, but again, that is not the exercise. The exercise is normal bench step-ups, and they can add to it if they want. Exercise number 2 is squat hold with an alternating foot raise. So you can see my feet. Pretend I'm squatting, not sitting on a bench, and feet are gonna be wide. You're gonna squat, I can't do it sitting down, and you're gonna just lift your foot. Try not to turn your body to the side too far. I clearly can't do this very well. And this is 30 seconds. Exercise number 3 is upper body elevated hip thrust. So this is where they're going to put kind of the center of their back on the bench, hands out wide, hips lifted, knees at 90. Your neck follows the movement. Thrust those hips into the air, up and down, drive through your heels. Exercise number 4 is a lower body elevated one leg hip thrust. So one foot is totally on the bench, not pushing on it. It's actually on the bench with the heel. The knee that's up is at 90, other legs in the air. Press those shoulder blades into the floor. As you drive those hips to the ceiling, I like to just take my foot up towards the ceiling. 30 seconds each leg, and then you're gonna do that entire circuit again. Alternating bench step-ups, squat hold with the foot lift, upper body elevated 2-leg hip thrust, and then lower body elevated 1-leg hip thrust. So that's the lower circuit. Then we have 2 upper circuits. So I'm going to move this bench out of the way. So we're done with it. So we have a TRX flat row or a TRX pull. So you're gonna grab the TRX straps. Your feet are gonna be under your knees are at 90. I'm gonna move in. The TRX straps should be directly over your shoulders. Lift your hips, squeeze your glutes, and pull your chest to the straps. Exhale as you go up into the air, or as you pull the straps to your chest. That exercise, you're gonna do 3 times in a row, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Exercise number 2 is a tall kneeling X pull down with a tricep extension. So both cables are gonna be all the way at the top, both black handles. And we are going to do tall kneeling. Make sure you coach your client to dig their toes into the floor. Hands are crossed. X pull down, tricep extension. Back into the center, back up. X pull down, tricep extension. Now, when you give them weight suggestions, they're obviously going to be able to pull down more on the X than they can do with their tricep extension. So tell them to go a little bit lighter, and if it's too light, they have 3 rounds to kind of get their weight right. So I would say like somewhere between 1 and 2 for ladies, maybe add a half a plate, 1.5, 2.5, and guys probably somewhere between 3 and 5. All just depends on how strong their triceps are. So that's the first circuit. TRX row, 3 times 20 on 10 off, and then the tall kneeling X pull down with the tricep extension, 3 times 20 on 10 off. Circuit number 2, we need to pull the red levers down a little bit. I like this circuit. We're gonna put the straight bar on. And we have a push and we have a pull. Again, first exercise is gonna be 3 times 20 on 10 off, and the second exercise is 20 on 10 off 3 times. So we want, I didn't say really where to put the red levers. It's more you want the bar at your chest as you're going to push. So you're gonna be split stance, your elbows are gonna be in line with your shoulders, exhale as you press away. Okay, so this is going to hopefully help some clients' push-ups. They really need to use their core to support their lower back. And exhale as they press away. Don't let them bring that bar all the way to their chest. They want to stop their elbows kind of in line with their shoulders, maybe a little bit further back to complete the rep. 3 times, 20 on 10 off, I think I said that. And then the second exercise is a standing server curl. So we did this last month with the cables. So you can't really see me, but your arms are gonna start straight. Your palms are supinated. You are going to row the bar to your chest. Your elbows are nice and close to your body. Back out, and then curl the bar. Row, back out, curl, okay? Bilateral stance, push your hips forward, squeeze your glutes. You wanna keep your back nice and tall. Use that core to protect your back as you're pulling and curling. 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Then we have some finishers. we have a plank walk. We're gonna go left to right. So they are going to get into a plank position. Now, if they did lower body day, they've done a lateral bear crawl. So this is a similar movement. I coach to start with your hands close together and your feet out, wider apart. Lift one foot and one hand, opposite foot, opposite hand. Okay, they're gonna go a couple steps one direction, a couple steps the other direction. From there, they're gonna go right into their shoulder taps. They can do a plank shoulder tap. They can do a bear crawl shoulder tap. All right, we can give them the option. 30 seconds there. And then the third exercise is a straight bar pronated pull. So our hands are pronated, knuckles to the air. Narrow grip, exhale as you pull that bar straight back. So it is similar to the server curl, except our palm positioning is different. If you would like, I just thought about this, because we did the low cable row and we did the supinated server curl, they can actually go wide grip on this. You try it out, you see how you want to coach it. It might make sense to go wide grip so that their elbows go out wide. That's probably how I'm going to coach it. So that circuit, plank walk, 30 seconds, shoulder tap, 30 seconds, straight bar pronated pull, 30 seconds, 2 rounds. And then the lower body finisher is heavy sled push. You're familiar with that. The heavy sled push is 45 seconds. And then we have a split stance deadlift. So the split stance deadlift is with the straight bar. Both cables are going to go all the way to the bottom. So split stance, I think what I probably meant is like a kickstand. So it is technically split stance, but I'm going to coach kickstand. So most of your weight on your front leg, hinge, back down. Again, it's a small range of motion. That's okay for the sake of our clients. Switch legs, 30 seconds, hinge, and snap. Just 1 round. So heavy sled push for 45, and then 30 seconds with each leg in front for the split stance deadlift. And then we have core. So we are gonna do 2 rounds, 30 seconds each. We're gonna do a ring fall, or TRX fallout, so these straps are a little bit high. If you're on your toes, the further back your feet are, the more core engagement you're going to get. Hands should be shoulder width apart. Use your core, squeeze your glutes. I would not recommend the handles going any higher than their shoulders or their face, but these straps are too high, so that's what that is going to look like. We want them to keep their hands shoulder width apart. If they go a little more narrow, that's okay, but we don't want them wide. Squeeze their core. Glute activation and squeezing your glutes is a huge part of any sort of rollout, so make sure they do that as well. What can they do if they, so if they cannot do that rollout, one of the things you want to look for is spinal flexion. That means they need to obviously activate their core, activate their glutes. So one of the things they can do for this is on their knees, they can walk out and then in, or on their planks, walk out and then in. So that's kind of similar to a rollout. Down on their knees, out, and then in. If they're not comfortable doing the ring fallouts, have them do that exercise. Number 2 is straight leg sit-ups. We're all familiar with this. The wider your feet are, the easier it's going to be. Pull your toes to your nose, fingertips face the ceiling. Exhale, shoulders over hips, fingers stay to the ceiling, controlled back down. Not many clients are going to do it, but try to tell them to touch their shoulder blades to the floor instead of rolling their spine down to the floor. If you have more advanced clients, they can grab the half plate, hold them in the hand, and hold 1 and 2 hands. Kids club's closed. Or they can put 1 weight in each hand. The other thing is, I've had some of my people do this before, split their legs. So for 15 seconds, have them do 1 knee up. When it says halfway, have them switch and do the other knee up. So there's a couple options for that. And then the last one, this one could get a little bit hairy. but I like it. I think it works okay. I talked to John about it. It's not too much lateral flexion on the spine. If you don't want to coach this, you do not have to. This is an option I gave to my clients when we just held a side plank, so they can hold a side plank, lift their hips, elbow under shoulder, push their hips forward and squeeze their glute. They can go here, or small range of motion, they can dip their hips. This is really gonna work their obliques, okay? 30 seconds on one side, they're gonna flip and they're gonna do 30 seconds on the other. So we have the TRX fall outs or the plank kind of walk out. Straight leg sit-ups and side plank hip dips, 30 seconds, all of those 2 rounds. And that's it.